ceiling had a limit there, and watched her build a ladder out of air. She didn't need permission from their doubt. She found her fire and let it blaze it out. She rises anyway, through every no and every closed off way. She rises anyway, doesn't matter what they say. She's been knocked down and she's been overlooked, she's been misread and she's been mistook, but she rises anyway, every single day. The mornings when the bed feels like a weight, she still gets up before the hours are late. She makes the choice before the choice gets hard. She plays the game with a complicated card, and not because the world has been so kind, but because rising lives inside her mind. She rises anyway, through every no and every closed off way. She rises anyway, doesn't matter what they say. To every woman fighting quiet wars behind the smile and the perfectly kept floors, your rising doesn't have to be a roar. Sometimes it's just walking out the door. She rises anyway, watch her go. They paved the ground and told her nothing grows in places hard as this where cold wind blows. But she found a crack and pushed her green right through, because wildflowers do what wildflowers do. You can't contain what's built to find the light. No pavement thick enough to kill the fight. Wildflower in concrete, growing where they said you couldn't be. Wildflower in concrete, wild and undeniably free. They didn't plant you and they can't maintain you. No amount of gray will ever tame you. Wildflower in concrete, you were always going to bloom. She grew up in a neighborhood of heart, where dreaming was a dangerous discard. But she kept her garden in her chest and bloomed beyond the boundary of the rest. The most defiant act that she could do was simply being beautifully true. Trim thing, you were always meant to be a wildly free thing. Wildflower in concrete, unstoppable. Ooh. clouds rolled in and everyone ran for cover. But something in me said, go look it over. I've been in storms before and I came through, and this one doesn't scare me like it used to. There's a knowing in the bones of those who've weathered every kind of rain and still stay tethered. I was built for this storm. I was made for the rain. I was built for this storm, to come through it again. Not untouched and not without a scar, but standing on the other side of fire. I was built for this storm. Watch me walk right through. They thought the thunder would undo my roots, forgot that storms just deepen what a cruise. And women who have learned to hold their ground through every season that has come around. The tree that bends in wind survives the most. It's a rigidness that turns a tree to ghost. I was built for this storm. I was made for the rain. I was built for this storm, to come through it again. To every woman standing in the poor, who doesn't know how much she can endure, you were built with more than you can see. The storm reveals the depth of who you be. I was built for this storm. I used to kneel beside the bed at night and ask for someone strong enough to fight the battles I was facing all alone, not knowing that the answer was my own. The woman that I begged the sky to send was being built in me from end to end. I am becoming who I prayed for, the answer to my own late night appeal. I am becoming who I prayed for, and she is finally real. Not perfect and not finished and not done, but standing in the morning and the sun. I am becoming who I prayed for, and she looks just like me. She carries herself different than before. She doesn't shrink and doesn't beg for more than what she's worth, which turns out to be much. She's learning that her value isn't such a fragile thing to be approved by others. She blooms for herself first, and then the others. I am becoming who I prayed for, the answer to my own late night appeal. I am becoming who I prayed for. If the younger me could see me standing here, she'd recognize the face through all the fear, and know the prayers were always being heard. And becoming who I prayed for. She's here. She didn't need the mountain or the stage. She just needed to turn the morning page and find the smallest version of brave she had on a day that started ordinary sad. Courage doesn't always wear a crown. Sometimes it just gets up before the sun goes down. One brave morning, that's all it takes. One brave morning to change the stakes. You don't need forever figured out, just one morning worth getting out. One brave morning can become the rest of your life. She made the call she'd been avoiding weeks. She said the thing that took away her sleep. She signed the form, she walked through the new door and found herself on the other side of more. Every life that changed began the same, with one brave morning that nobody named. One brave morning, that's all it takes. One brave morning to change the stakes. You don't have to be ready, just willing. You don't have to be whole, just still breathing. You don't have to have answers, just the door. One brave morning opens everything more. One brave morning. This one, right now. She'd been waiting for the perfect moment, long for all the stars to line and all the fears gone. But the stars don't really care about your timing, and fear doesn't leave just because you're rhyming. So she stopped waiting for the impossible green light and chose to start on an imperfect Tuesday night. She decided to begin, not when she was ready, just right then. She decided to begin with the imperfect, and the when is now, because it's always now or never, and waiting for perfection lasts forever. She decided to begin, and that was everything. The first step wasn't glamorous or clean. It was messy and uncertain, and between the woman she had been and who she'd be. But it was hers completely, and it was free. Beginning is the bravest thing of all, because it risks the possibility of fall. She decided to begin, not when she was ready, just right then. with everything you've given. She decided to begin. So long running toward your vision of what my life should be with your precision. Your dreams became the map that I was using, and somewhere on that road I started losing. The compass that was always mine inside had been replaced by someone else's guide. Now I'm running toward my own light, my own horizon, my own right. Running toward my own light, through the day and through the night. Not the light that others held for me, but the one that only I can see. Running toward my own light, and it's guiding me home. I took the long way around to find this path, did the math of everyone else's aftermath. And finally understood that I alone know the direction of my particular home. Your light is yours and mine belongs to me, and both can shine without competing to be free. Now I'm running toward my own light, my own horizon, my own right. Running toward my own light, through the day. People's map, who traded inner compass for their lap of approval and direction, and their say your own light never went away. Running toward my own light, almost there. I used to run to someone when afraid, needed arms around me when I swayed. But every set of arms eventually let go, and I was left to face the undertow. So I began the quietest of renovations, building in myself my own foundations, becoming my own safe place, learning how to hold my own face in the mirror with the kindness I'd extend to any dear stranger or a friend. Becoming my own safe place, my own comfort, my own grace. The harbor and the storm I was looking for was always just inside an inner door. I practice it in mornings when I wake. I speak to myself gently for the sake of the child inside who needed it the most, from someone who would never leave their post. Safety is a practice and a daily choice to be your own protection and your voice. Becoming my own safe place, learning how to hold my own face in the mirror with the fit of who I am. I'm whole already here, and love can add to whole, not engineer it. Becoming my own safe place. I am home. She doesn't make announcements when she heals. She doesn't broadcast all the strength she feels, building in the quiet of her room. Between the grief and the resuming bloom, the strongest things in nature make no sound. The roots go deeper without making ground. Unbreakable in the quiet, in the private and the still. Unbreakable in the quiet, in the choosing and the will. She doesn't need an audience to be strong. She doesn't need the world to play along. Unbreakable in the quiet is the strongest kind there is. The night she chose to stay instead of leaving, the mornings after sobbing without breathing room, when she chose to try one more time, are her most heroic and her most sublime. Heroism lives in the unremarkable decision to continue with quiet precision. Unbreakable in the quiet, in the private and the still. Unbreakable in the quiet, in the choosing and the will. You don't have to announce your survival to validate the beauty of your revival. The quiet ones who make it through the dark carry the most extraordinary spark. Unbreakable in the quiet, she always was. She'd been waiting for someone to tell her yes, that she was good enough and not a mess of half-formed talent and a borrowed dream, that the great things in her life were as they seem. But the permission she was waiting on to start was always living in her own brave heart. Permission to be great, I'm giving it to myself today. Permission to be great, I'm not waiting anymore to say that what I have inside is worth the world, that the gift inside this woman is unfurled. Permission to be great is mine to give and mine to take. She stopped making herself smaller in a room. She stopped arriving like she was the gloom, instead of the occasion, instead of the light that she'd always been but dimmed from sight. Owning your own greatness isn't pride, it's the honest reckoning of what's inside. Permission to be great, I'm giving it to myself today. Permission to be great, I'm not waiting anymore to say permission to be great, granted by me. They gave me the corner with the least amount of light, expecting I would wither out of sight. But something stubborn in my roots refused to disappear just because they chose and used the smallest space to keep me in and small. I found the crack and grew beyond the wall. Every limitation is an invitation to find your most creative kind of station. Watch me bloom from here, from the smallest and the least expected place. Watch me bloom from here, putting color in the most unlikely space. They didn't water me and didn't tend, but I bloomed anyway around the bend. Watch me bloom from here, and don't look away. The ones who doubted are still in the room, but now they're watching me fill it with bloom. And I don't do it for their turned around eyes, I do it for the woman who survived. Blooming is the ultimate response to everyone who ever said you're not. Watch me bloom from here, from the smallest and the least expected place. Watch me bloom from here, putting color in the most unlikely space. To every woman, planet, and bad soul who has been fighting through the stone and toil, your blooming is more beautiful because of every obstacle that gave you pause. Watch me bloom from here. I'm just getting started. Nobody sees the grace inside the struggle. From the outside it just looks like juggle after juggle, just surviving day to day. But living close to it, I have to say, there is something that the comfortable don't know about the beauty of the life lived on the low. The grace inside the struggle is the most refined of all. The grace inside the struggle is what stops the final fall. It's the neighbor with the extra, it's the friend, it's the unexpected mercy at the end of every month that brought you to your knees. The grace inside the struggle is these. I've seen it in the eyes of women who have carried more than they were meant to do, and never lost the softness of their heart. That is the grace. The most courageous art, to keep your gentleness through every heart, requires the most extraordinary guard of something beautiful inside yourself. A grace you keep on the interior shelf. The grace inside the struggle is the most refined of of all. The grace inside the struggle is what stops the final fall. The struggling for the ease of a life that never brought me to my knees, because the grace I found inside the fight is the greatest thing I carry in the light. The grace inside the struggle, I found it there. She doesn't post about it or declare the victory she's winning everywhere. She just keeps putting one foot in front of the other without the needed grunt of public validation or applause. She's doing it because she does, because she rises quietly without announcement or a crowd. She rises quietly, not meek but not particularly loud. She just keeps going in the direction of her dreams, building more than anybody ever seems to notice from the outside looking in. She rises quietly, and that is its own win. Promotions and the healing and the growth, the new address and the keeping of her oath to herself above anyone else, to put her own well-being on the shelf first before the needs of all the rest. A woman who has learned to honor her own best. She rises quietly without announcement or a crowd. She rises quietly, not meek but not particularly loud. The quietest ascents are the most sure, built on real foundations and not for the audience or the admiration, just the internal compass of her destination. She rises quietly. Look how high she's gone. The ground that she was planted in was hard, with stones of every kind that left a scar on her roots as she pushed through the years, watered only by her own honest tears. But broken ground is still ground and still gives to everything with roots enough to live. Beautiful flowers from broken ground, the most extraordinary beauty found. Beautiful flowers from broken ground, growing up without a single sound of someone tending or approving there. Just a woman growing in the open air of everything that tried to keep her down. Beautiful flowers from broken ground. She bloomed in colors nobody expected, from soil that everyone had long neglected, as if the difficulty fed her roots was something strong enough to bear the fruits. The hardest lies produce the deepest people. The broken ground gives rise to what is real. pushing through and wondering somehow if anything will grow from where you are. Know that broken ground has grown the brightest star. Beautiful flowers from broken ground. That's you. That's you. The day he chose herself was not dramatic. No proclamation or the automatic applause she half expected or deserved. Just a quiet Tuesday when she served herself the first plate and sat down and said, today the life I'm living is mine instead. The revolution of a woman choosing her is the quietest and most powerful blur of old and new, of before and after. The beginning of a different kind of chapter. She chose herself and bloomed into the fullest version of the room. She chose herself and bloomed into everything she'd always been assumed. Too much or not enough, or in between. She chose herself and bloomed into the scene, and magnificent and here and finally free. She chose herself and bloomed, and that is everything. She stopped shrinking in the presence of the large. She stopped giving everyone else the charge of her emotions and her worth and her day. She took the wheel and learned to drive her way. Self-choosing isn't selfish, it's survival. It's the beautiful and necessary revival. She chose herself and bloomed into the fullest version of the room. She chose herself and bloomed. To every woman at the edge of the decision to choose herself with clarity and vision, jump, the blooming is already beginning. The choosing is the most magnificent winning. She chose herself.